Hello everyone, my name is Holly and I will be conducting a language class this hour, and we will be doing a topic on cars. So what we will do is we will look at the vocabulary related to cars, the external part of the car and also the internal part of the car, interior and exterior, I guess, not internal, exterior and internal. Interior. And then we will also look at some idioms or some phrasal verbs related to driving and also talk about driving. So that is what we will be doing today. Let me show you the material. Hi, Greg. How are you?
Hi, I'm fine. How are you?
Very good. So you're up quite late, aren't you? Is it
Yes.
about midnight? No,
No.
that's right. You're not in Poland, you're in the UK. So is it 11?
No, it's 1 o'clock.
It's 1. Oh, it's even later.
Yeah.
Wow, okay. So, excellent. So do you work tomorrow then?
No, no,
Or
no. No, I have a couple of other things. So I'll be probably trying to find a job because on Friday I get another refusal. So
oh, okay. What field are you in?
actually,
Is there any kind of job?
I'm looking for a job in the factory actually where they will hire me because I have a higher education, but my diploma in the UK doesn't count because that is a public administration. So tax.
Okay. So you'll take any job that you can get.
Yes.
And okay, yeah, and it's interesting because they before we start university they tell us you need to go to university so you can get a really good job, and I see so many people after they have university in jobs that they could have done before. So that was my first job after university. I was like, I don't need a university degree for this job. So, but
Happen.
yeah, it happens I think to a lot of people.
I think
So.
because the problem is that in many societies, people try to find their own way that they cannot find a job, so they think that they should go to the university. After university, they actually what they do, they try to take a place of people who don't need a education to work in these places.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah.
And Poland is one of the places that we have one of the highest numbers of students.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
And the reason people go to school is it because they can't find a job and they don't know what they want to do?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So they want to, delay the moment when they have to, immigrate to the other country because maybe that will be a solution.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, and well, I mean, I think when I remember when Poland joined the EU, Poland was one of the first countries, right?
But actually, not really.
Yeah,
It was
of the
no,
former Eastern Bloc.
2014. It was 10 other countries. It was 9 other countries who joined to this
When
to this
when
organization.
when did Poland join the EU?
I think it 2004.
I think because I was thinking it was earlier than a lot of countries.
Yeah, yes,
Yeah,
it was. Uh,
yeah, it was
Greece,
one of the earliest Eastern Bloc countries
yeah,
to join. Yeah, because I remember when you joined because all the Finns were worried that everybody from Poland and I think it was Hungary were going to come
yes, yes.
to immigrate over, and I was like, oh, don't worry about it because they'll go to the UK or English speaking countries. They won't come to Finland. So.
Yes, it's true. And the Polish language in the UK is the second language in this country
Oh,
right now.
is it? Okay, it's like in the U.S. Spanish is our second language. Hi,
Yeah.
Asma. How are you?
Yeah, hi teacher. Yeah, I'm good. Thank you for asking. What about you?
Doing very, very, very well. So I've been very productive today, which is always very nice. So I'm
Good.
always happier when I'm a bit productive. Yeah. So what time is it right now in Qatar?
4 a.m.
Oh, it's 4 a.m. Okay. Yeah, for some reason I thought it was, I don't know why, but okay. And oh, question for you. How do I actually say that country name? Is it Qatar or Qatar?
Qatar.
Qatar. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I've heard both pronunciations, and I was like, I need to ask you, or there's a couple other people from Qatar who live in Qatar that I could have asked as well. So anyway,
Yeah, and also me sometimes I said Qatar and sometimes I say Qatar.
yeah.
So mix it between Arabic and how I have to
Uh-huh.
pronounce in English.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the
Mm,
situation. So,
mm,
yeah.
yeah, you
So,
are right. Yeah.
yeah. Well, the topic, as you guys can see, the topic is on cars today. So, first of all, Asema, do you have a car and do you drive?
Mm, I hate driving,
Uh-huh.
firstly,
Uh-huh.
and I don't have a car, but my
Okay.
husband has a car. Yeah.
Do you have a driver's license?
No, I tried to take lessons, but after that I stopped because I decided to not drive.
Okay. Now, in Saudi Arabia, women cannot drive. Can women drive in Qatar?
Yes,
Okay, they
they
can.
can. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And Greg, how about you? Do you have a car and a driver's license?
No, I don't have a car, and I don't even have a driver's license in this
Okay.
case.
Uh-huh.
I,
Have you thought about getting one?
Actually, I cannot have it because my eyes are quite weak. Strange.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. So it's better not to. Yeah.
not take a risk.
Yeah, and I think for those of you who have been in my other classes, I actually was very late to getting my license. I, uh, when I was growing up, people in the state of Idaho could get their license when they were 14, and I actually did not get my license until I was 24. And then right after I got my license, I moved abroad, and I lived abroad for many years. And then I came back to the States permanently when I was 40. And during that 16 years, I had relearned how to drive twice, but had forgotten again, and had also let my license go. So I had to get my license again when I was 40. Um, so I'm a relatively new driver of the last 4 or 5 years, and at first I did not like driving at all, and why when I lived in countries where the public transportation was really good. Um, Now I don't mind driving, especially if I'm going from city to city on a road trip or something like that. But now, in your cities, is it easy to get around without a car? Asima?
No, 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 it's not easy. Yeah, it's not easy because um, here in Qatar we have a huge
Mm-hmm.
highway and very, very huge ways or roads.
Mm-hmm. Do many people have drivers, or do you just have your husband drive you, or how do you do that?
Uh, no, when I go to my main work, I go with my husband. Yeah, and if I have another thing or uh, another coverage, any other activities, yeah, I call the driver.
Okay, yeah, because I've heard that and especially in the Middle East, that it's very common to have drivers come in, for
Yes,
private drivers. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, because it's very difficult, and also because it's warm, so you cannot handle the weather by walking.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why, yeah.
Yeah, okay. And Greg, how do you get around?
Walking. When I had money, I use it cabs. Um, and that depends. I lived here in the UK. I lived close to the city center, so it's quite fine. In my hometown, I didn't need, a car to go to many places. But
Hmm.
every time when in hometown is this situation that you need to go to the biggest city, which in my case was a capital, so you need to use the bus. So it's kind of
Hmm.
complicated because even if you don't need in our small town the car, that doesn't mean that you don't need a transport at all because there's
Hmm.
always a situation to go to the bigger city to make things because
Hmm.
everything cool is there.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. And I remember when I lived in Finland, I lived for the first 6 years. I lived in 6 or 7 years. I lived in right near the city center, and I walked everywhere. And then when I moved to a neighborhood that right outside of my door, I had 4 buses come every 10 minutes or something. So I was very, very connected and didn't even need a car. It was very nice. Here, it's interesting. Right now, I am house sitting in the bigger city in the area, and my sister called yesterday, and they're having problems with their car, and so she was wanting to know if I had time to come drive her somewhere. And so I suggested, well, why don't you just come and use my car? So she has my car, so I am this week without a car. And so I'm within walking distance to some places, but most things I'll need to have somebody drive me because it's just not, the US is not set up, unless you're in the big cities, they're not set up for driving, kind of like what Asama said. It's just not set up for walking. So, but anyway, let's talk about some vocabulary related to cars. So, hello, Nada. How are you? Oh, and hello, Kako. How are you? Hello, Kako. Are you there? Nada, are you there? Okay. Well, while they're getting this set up and so forth, let's talk about these car parts. So we're going to have some vocabulary related to the exterior part of the car.
Hi.
Hi, Nada. How are you? How's everything in Texas?
Hello?
Hello, can you hear?
Hello?
Hello? No. Okay, it looks like Nada. Can you hear?
Yeah, now, yeah.
Okay, excellent. All right. So how's everything in Texas right now?
Good, thank you.
Good, excellent. And everyone, this is Nada. She is from Saudi Arabia, and she is living in Texas with her husband and child. And Nada, I think guess everybody, all of you except for Kako, are expats. This is Gregor from Poland, but he's living in the UK right now. And then we have Asama from Tunisia, but she's living in Qatar right now. And then we have Kako, who's from Brazil and still living in Brazil. Um, so welcome. All right, so we're going to talk about
Hi.
So, Kako, can you speak? I know he was having internet problems earlier, so let's look at some vocabulary related to cars. So we have these words here. We have bonnet, headlight, side mirror, boot, license plate, tire, bumper, rear light, windscreen, handle, roof, windscreen wiper. Um, these are in British English, and so for the ones that are different and not that where American English has a different word, I will tell you what that word is. But it is important for you guys, since you'll be speaking to people of all languages, to understand all the vocabulary words. Okay, so let's see if we can match these words. Let's start with Asama. Do you know what number 1 is? Right here. What would that be called? Hello?
Yes, could be.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe headlight?
You are absolutely correct. So number 1 is called a headlight. Also in American English, we call that a headlight. All right. So number 2, Kako, are you able to speak? Okay. Okay, he's having problems with his internet. Okay, so number 2, Greg, do you know what the number 2 would be in British English?
In British English, it will be bonnet.
A bonnet, perfect. In American English, we call the bonnet the hood. So
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah, hood of the car. So, okay, Nada, do you know what number 3 would be?
Number 3, windscreen wiper.
Yes, windscreen wiper is number 3. Now, in American English, we pronounce we instead of windscreen wiper, we actually say windshield wiper, which is just a slightly different word. Windshield wiper. Okay, Kako, can you speak now?
Yes, teacher.
Awesome! Yay! Yay! So
my connection is bad today.
Yeah, I told everybody that a few hours ago when we were in class together that was happening to you as well. So, all right. Yeah, it's interesting, Kako. Everybody except for you and I in this classroom are living in countries they were not born in. So, did you hear me say that? Did you hear me introduce everyone? Hello?
Not completely, teacher.
Okay. Yeah.
But
So,
I heard, I listened, that you said Nada is from Saudi Arabia, Saudi Arabia, living in Texas only.
Oh, okay. And then Greg is from Poland, and he's living in the UK. I don't know where you are, Greg, but he's in the UK. And then Asama is from Tunisia, but she's living in Qatar. And then my heart is somewhere else, but I'm living in Idaho. So so anyway, so Kako, do you know what number 4 would be in this picture of a car?
4. I think it is glass, maybe.
Glass? Okay. And
front glass? No, I don't know. I don't know.
All right. It's down here. It is called a windscreen. Right here. Do you see that? Windscreen. Now, in American English, we actually call it a windshield. Windshield. But the front, we'll say that, for example, the front windshield. So But yeah, it is glass, but that part of the car is called a windshield. Okay. All right. Awesome. Do you know what number 5 would be?
Roof, maybe roof.
Very good. Number 5 is called the roof of the car. Perfect. And that's also the same word we would use for a house as well. So
Yeah.
number 6, Nada, do you know what number 6 would be?
Side mirror.
Yes, the side mirror. Correct. Okay, and number 7, Greg.
Number 7, it will be boot.
Yeah, it's funny you got the bonnet and the boot.
Yeah.
So number.
I never really understand why they call it a boot, but if I look more logically, I cannot understand why people call it trunk in American English, because trunk has so many meanings.
Yeah, it's neither one of them makes sense actually. So, yeah, I think the hood is on the top, the boot is on the bottom. That might be why. So this is top and this is bottom, but actually it's front and back. So anyway, but yeah, in American English we call it trunk, and I guess it's because that is where people use to store things, I guess. So, Kako, do you know what number 8 would be?
Rear light.
Rear light, perfect. Perfect. And I really appreciated it. Like about 8 months ago, I actually had somebody stop me in traffic to tell me my rear light was out. So that was nice. So awesome. What is number 9?
9. Handle.
Handle, yeah. And a lot of times, just to make this a little bit more clear, a lot of times people will say a door handle or even a car door handle. Okay. Nada, what is number 10?
Number 10, tire.
Tire, yes. It is a tire. And we pronounce, of course, in American English, we spell the tire just slightly different. T-I-R-E instead of T-Y-R-E. And Greg, what is number 11?
Number 11, it will be bumper.
Bumper, yes. You realize you've got the bonnet, the boot, and the bumper all in the top. That's funny. So, Kako, what is number 12?
I think the fender, it will be the American English version.
Fender. Actually, we do use the word fender, but bumper, we use bumper as well.
Really?
Yeah, bumper is more common. Well, actually, do we? Fender, bender, bumper. You're right. Fender is what we use. I'm just too international, I think. So, Kako, then what would the last one be, number 12?
License plate.
Perfect. Now, in American English, we spell license slightly different. We actually spell it with an S. I think it's spelled wrong. I was getting confused. I was confused these. I think the British English is easier because you have both C's, but we have an S here at the end, license. So that's American English. Right.
Just a simple question, because I was confused when I first looked at initially when I looked at the definition license plate. I always thought that the license plate is Canadian English, and British it will be number plate or something like that. But I never really asked anybody, because if you type in the dictionary, it was like list. License plate, it was Canadian with this spelling, license plate with the American, license tag, it was still American, and number plate, which I never heard to anybody use it. So.
Yeah, I haven't heard number plate at all. So, but there's a possibility. I just not having.
Yeah. And what was this license tag?
A license tag. I have heard that, but that's actually. Let me show you. At least in my state, I'm going to show you an Idaho license plate, and that way I can. And basically, in every year you have to register your car.
Right.
And the way that they can tell if the way the police can tell whether it's been registered or not is with this tag down here.
Right.
So for example, August 12, this person's license plate has to by August of 2012 he needed to go in and change it. And I'm not sure. I think mine's a blue. Mine was this blue and it had 6 on it because I have to change it in June. So that's basically what it is. So I guess no wait, this 12 is December. I'm sorry.
Yep.
December, and then color. That's what the license tag is. And in Idaho, we have a fairly simple thing with our license plate. Do you guys see these two letters right here? This number right here. Not all of them have it, but these 2 letters in front of it.
Yeah.
The 1A, 1B, 2T, 1A, 2C. These have to do, Idaho is, I think, the only state I know of that does this. This E stands for Elmore County. This A stands for Ada County. The 2C stands for Canyon County. The 1B right here stands for, I think, Bonneville County. 2T stands for Twin Falls County. So an 8B, I'm not sure what it is. But when we were kids in school, we had to actually memorize all of these codes for the counties, and it's something that is specific just to Idaho, which is actually kind of interesting. So you can look at a license plate, unless it's a vanity plate, which is like this one. That's a vanity plate. Unless it's a vanity plate, you can look and see what county they're from. And so if you're in Boise, which is the bigger city, and you see somebody with a 6B or a 6B or a 2C, you know that they're from smaller towns and they're probably not good at driving in the city. So that's a good thing. So, all right. Any questions about these words?
Teacher.
Mm-hmm.
How could we refer to the position of this handle number 9, referring to the door, identifying the door, considering that the car has doors, that its door is on right and front.
Okay, so what we say is we will say the passenger side. Basically, it will be the front passenger side, or we'll say the front driver's side.
Okay.
It's one way. I think a lot of times, or they'll say front, or rear passenger side, rear driver's side. The confusion would be if you're saying that and you're thinking, for example, in the way it's driven in Europe and in the Americas, and then you're actually in Canada or the UK or Japan, where they drive opposite. Or Australia.
Yeah, that was a good question. And one of the things that thinking right now. Is there any specific name for the, for the window at the back of the car?
Yeah, that's a very good question. The window in the back of the car is called um, it's called the rear window, and even this right here is called the number 6 is called a side mirror. The mirror that's in the middle, which is the one that I personally use that a lot more, though the side is called the rear view mirror. Rear view mirror. But I think when we go to the interior part of the car, we'll talk about that.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
you're welcome. Any
Teacher,
other questions? Yes.
Then could I say number 9 refers to front passenger side door handle.
Yes. That's exactly what number 9 is. To be very, very specific, it's the front passenger side door handle. Where
Okay.
this one right here, what would you say for that one? Instead of front, you would say rear. What would you call this door handle, Kako? Anybody know?
Okay, teacher.
What would this door handle be called?
Rear, at the back.
Mm-hmm. Either the rear passenger side door handle or the back passenger or back, either way. So rear passenger side door handle. So, but usually you would say just the passenger side, driver's side, that kind of thing. So, okay, good questions, very good questions. Okay, let's see if we can complete these words. Number 1, Asama. Can you try this using the words that we just went over?
Okay. Remember to check your before overtaking the car in front of you.
Okay, I'm gonna very quickly see if I can put these words up here so you guys can see them.
Yes.
Okay, so you have license plate. Remember to check your what.
Just I want. Can you just explain to me what does mean overtake?
Yes, absolutely. To overtake means to pass. So, say for example, when you're on the highway and somebody is going very slow and you have an extra lane, maybe you will overtake that person. So that is what that is.
Okay.
Okay. Good question.
So ahead means, yeah?
Excuse me?
Ahead. Ahead you means like this?
Ahead?
Yeah. No.
Okay. Headlight, you mean?
I wrote the word on the chat box.
Okay, let me look at the chat.
Ahead.
Ahead. Yeah, the reason you overtake is the reason for you to overtake is to get ahead. Absolutely. So.
Okay. Remember to check before overtaking the car in front of you.
So what do you need to check? This is hard since you don't drive.
Yeah, maybe the side mirror, maybe.
You are absolutely correct. So it is the side mirror. Check your side mirror. Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, and Kako, can you try number 2?
I can't open the door. I think the door handle is broken.
Perfect. I think the hand we can put door, but this handle works as well.
Yeah.
Because we already have said door. So I think the handle is broken. Very good. Greg, could you do number 3?
Okay. It's raining now. You should turn on your windscreen wiper.
Yes, windscreen wiper or windshield wiper.
It is wiper or wipers? Because it's like 2 of them.
Wipers.
Wipers.
Yeah. In fact, a lot of times that's a very good observation. A lot of times it's in spoken English, even though it's called a windshield wiper or a windscreen wiper, we actually would say this: "It's raining now. You should turn on your wipers."
Just like that.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, and we don't. I don't know. Frankly, I don't know about British English, but in American English, we actually would not say windshield or windscreen. We'd say just wipers.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Number 4, Nada, welcome back. Can you speak yet?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Can you try number 4?
There is no space for your bags in the car. You will have to put them in the boot.
Mm-hmm. The boot or or American English in the trunk. Perfect. Okay, number 5, Asama.
Okay, I can't see anything. It's very dirty. Okay, the windscreen.
Mm-hmm. The windscreen is very dirty. Very good. Okay, and Kako, could you do number 6?
I need to open the. I don't remember, teacher.
Okay.
The word.
It's up here.
Okay.
One of these.
Okay. I need to open the bonnet to
Perfect.
check the engine.
Okay. Now, if you're speaking American English, of course, the bonnet would be the hood. Okay. Number 7, Greg.
The police stopped me because my headlight was broken.
Yes. Headlight was broken. And also, another way that the reason they'll stop is tail light. Any idea what a tail light would be?
But I think it is the back of the car.
Yeah, exactly. The head is in the front. Rear light. Yeah, the rear light. That's okay. Rear light is British English. American English, we say tail light. So.
Tail is the opposite of head.
Yeah, it actually is. So, and also rear light. Also, they'll stop because of that. That happened to my sister once. And she got stopped, and neither one of us knew why. And she looked at me and she said, "I don't have my license with me." And we're twins, so I was very close to giving her my license. And I didn't, but I was very close because we looked that much alike. So anyway, number 8, Nada.
Did you manage to read the license plate of the thief's car before he drove away?
It would be nice if you would have. Yep. Okay, so Kako, do you drive?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, and Nada, do you drive?
Yeah.
You do, okay. So, question for you: when should you check your side mirrors, Kako?
when I will take the car, I always check my side mirrors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm constantly checking my side mirrors and my rear view mirror all the time. So
Yeah. Okay, teacher.
yeah,
Yes, all the time.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But I think they were looking for the answer, like when you overtake a car or something like that. So, but I'm
Yes.
always checking. In fact, yesterday or the day before, when I wasn't checking, all of a sudden there was a police car right behind me, and it was passing me because it was going to an accident. But I should have checked it much earlier. So,
Before I start driving,
mhm.
I check them in order to adjust them.
Mhm. Yes, that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Question for you, Asama. How often do you open your bonnet, and what for?
Yeah. Maybe you forget that I
You don't
don't have a
drive.
car, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Your
my
husband
husband,
drives.
yeah. Yeah, with our oldest car, he always opens the bonnet. But with the new one, uh, no, I don't think that he opens always the bonnet. It's
Okay. So he
rare.
doesn't
Yeah,
he doesn't open it hardly at all.
yeah. I
Okay.
didn't see him, frankly.
Uh-huh. Because you have a nicer car now.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so Nada, with your car, your family car, do you have a spare tire in your boot?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
There is a
Okay.
spare tire.
Uh-huh. Okay. Yeah, I had one time I had a flat tire. My brother-in-law thankfully was driving, and in my boot or in my trunk was a spare tire that was not working. So we had to call my other brother
Wow.
to do it. So it's like So Kako, have you ever been stopped by the police because of a broken rear light?
No, I have never stopped by the police by this reason.
Mm-hmm.
I have already been stopped by the police when they are checking the documents of the drivers.
Okay.
But I have never had problems with them.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you've never been stopped by the police for that way. So have you ever would be? No, I've never been. So yeah. So but you have been stopped when there is a roadblock, right? When they are stopping everybody and asking them for their documents. So
Yeah, roadblock.
yeah. Okay. So Asama, you're the next person to leave because of internet. You and me are the only ones that have not left yet. So that's my joke. So who's going to be next, me or you? So
Yeah,
welcome back, Greg.
Yeah, I have some connection.
Yeah, well, so first it was Kako, then Nada had a problem, and now you. So all right, let's go on. We'll go to the driving phrasal verbs. Okay, Maria is having a driving lesson. Read what her instructor says to her and match the underlined phrasal verbs to their definitions. So we have the definitions down here. Drive faster, drive slower, exit, reverse, stop at the side of the road, or suddenly hit something and damage the car. So let's read through these and see what they all mean. So number one, Asama, can you read that one?
Yeah. You can't drive forward, so you need to back up a little in order to get out. You can't
What would that be?
to back up a little in order to get out. Uh,
To back up.
is I think to get out means to exit, yeah?
No, not to exit. Does anybody know what that means? To back up.
Reverse, maybe?
You're absolutely right. It means to reverse. So if you back up, you are reversing. Yes, Nada?
What is the meaning of that? Reverse?
Reverse means to go backwards. So to go back. Yeah. So you have in the car you have usually on the gear shift you have drive, neutral, reverse. Those, at least those three things, D, N, and R. And D means to go forward, reverse means to go back, and neutral is Kako, when would we put our car in neutral? I only do it when I go in car washes. Can you think of a time you would put your car in neutral?
I understand, teacher, but I don't remember the word. When I put the engine, I don't remember the word.
Yeah, I know when you would do this.
Steer. No.
Yeah, neutral. Well, neutral drive is when you go forward and the car is doing normal. You put things in neutral if you're trying to move the car, but either the engine won't start, but if it's in neutral, it means the wheels will move. So if you're pushing your car, you usually will put that in neutral. So, but anyway, those are the three gears usually in an automatic car. So, okay, number 2. Kako, could you read that, number 2?
Okay, I'm going to drive now. So please pull over.
Okay, so pull over. What does that mean? Any idea?
Stop at the side of the road.
Perfect. Stop at the side of the road. Okay. All right. So yeah. So if you're stopping, if you pull over, you have to stop at the side of the road. Okay. Number 3, Greg. Could you read that one?
There is I don't know if I read that correctly. 40 kilometers per hour speed limit. Please slow down.
Perfect. 40 kilometer per hour speed limit. Yeah.
You put in United States use kilometers too in this case, or no?
No.
What do you use?
We use miles.
So right.
We would say miles per hour is how it would be in the States. Would be M/8, and also kilometer. In American English is pronounced differently. So you guys say kilometer in British English. In American English, we say kilometer.
Kilometer.
It's
like kilo of something. Kilometer.
Yeah. Kilometer. So basically what the situation is, our stress is on this O. We're stressing the O, where in British English they stress the kilo. they stress the first one, and we stress the second one.
And this T, it will be D, or just left as a T, kilometer or kilometer?
Okay, see, kilometer. So this T would be more like a D sound, kilometer, and they're both of them in British English and American English. The T is a D sound. Kilometer, kilometer.
I never heard about it, but great.
Yeah. So if you hear somebody say kilometer, maybe another student or something, they've just learned American English. So.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So what does slow down mean?
Drive slower.
Drive slower. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. And so Nada, could you read number 4?
Number 4.
Mm-hmm.
Look carefully before you cross the junction. You don't want to crash into another car. Suddenly hit something and damage the car.
Perfect. So you definitely don't want to crash into anything. All right, and next one, Asima, can you read that one?
Mm-hmm. Okay, make sure the door is locked after you get out of the car. Exit, yeah.
Yes, exit.
Exit or exit?
Exit. You can say it both ways. Exit, exit. I've heard it both ways.
Because exit is like in French. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. See, let me think. I need to think of how I would say it. Will you exit? Exit is, I think, the more common way, but sometimes if people are just being slow, they'll say exit. So it depends on the person how fast they speak. So, all right, number 6, Kako, can you read that one?
You are driving too slowly. You can speed up a little.
Yes.
Drive faster.
Drive faster. Are you ever told to speed up when you drive, Kako?
Yes, sometimes, teacher, because I prefer low speeds than much high speeds.
Ah, okay. Yeah, my sister is the same. It's not that she prefers low speeds. She just likes to take her time. And so sometimes her and I will go on drives in the evening, and I have to come back to teach, and I get all worried. You gotta hurry. So I tell her, drive faster. So, all right, let's look at the interior car parts. So we have the accelerator, the clutch, the glove compartment, brake, dashboard, rear view mirror, car radio, gear stick, and steering wheel. So, number 1, what is that called, Greg?
Number 1 to be steering wheel.
Steering wheel, yes.
And do you have other names for it?
Nope.
No. Okay.
No. And then number 2, Anada, do you know what that one would be?
It will be a glove compartment.
No, that would be number 5 on this side. Number 5 is the glove compartment. Anybody know what what it would be? So it's called the dashboard, yeah. So it's the dashboard. In fact, sometimes you'll say the whole thing right here is the dashboard, but specifically what the area is that the driver has to see is called the dashboard. Okay, awesome. What is?
Sorry, because I just Do you call it a dash? Simply dash instead of dashboard?
No, we say dashboard, the whole thing.
Okay.
Or a lot of times, like for example, when I'm looking at this, I won't even call it the dashboard. I'll call it maybe the fuel gauge.
Fuel gauge.
The fuel gauge or the speedometer.
Okay.
Or so the speedometer is the one that tells you how fast you are going, and the fuel gauge is the one that tells you how much gas you have in your car. And then there's other things there, but I don't know the names. So.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, number 3, Asama. Do you know what that one is?
Rear view mirror.
Rear view mirror. Sorry about that. I think Alpo needed to say hello, so sorry about that. That bark there. Okay, and Kako, what is number 4?
Car radio.
Car radio, perfect. And number 5, Greg, what is that called?
Number 5, glove compartment.
Glove compartment, perfect. Okay, and number 6, Nada.
It's a gear stick.
Yes, gear stick. Gear stick. And a lot of times we call this the stick shift.
And what with the gear shift?
And a gear shift as well. That's another one. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm just checking because sometimes I have a lot of confusion, and I see in the book that the dictionary are more strict than real people.
Mm-hmm. That is exactly the case. We always say there's spoken English and there's written English, and you have to know both, unfortunately. So,
Yeah.
All right, and Asama, what is number 7?
7, if I remember my lessons, accelerator.
Okay. Accelerator. Accelerator. Okay, and then number 8, Kako.
Brake.
Brake. And where is this clutch? Let's see. I only
Clutch.
drive. I don't drive manual cars, and this is a manual car, so I'm like, let's see.
In order to stop the car,
Yeah, this is the brake number 8.
I pressed my feet
Mm-hmm.
on the brake and on the clutch to not on the brake and on the clutch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now this down here is what we call a manual car or a stick shift car. And then you have not manual. I'm sorry. Yeah. Then you have an automatic car, where an automatic car it does not have a clutch. That's why I was confused as to where the clutch was. So. Okay. All right. Any questions about any of these words?
Yes, just simply one, because what would the gas pedal or something like that?
Okay, gas pedal. Usually we will say the accelerator. Some people will say gas pedal.
Okay.
But the accelerator is the same as a gas pedal, so it depends on the person. But both of those are used.
I'm checking because I don't know how it works in the real life in the United States.
Exactly. So, press on the accelerator, I think, is the one I use more. So, Yes.
teacher.
Mm-hmm.
When the car is neutral, it it means that the gear is in a neutral position.
Correct. Correct. Where, well, like when we, what I was showing you was the automatic car. With the manual, they'll have, what is it? First, second, third, and fourth gear, and then also then you'll have, what is it? You'll have N and an R on the gear shift, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And then possibly, but and I never. Oh, let's say this: I have not driven a manual transmission car in enough years that I don't really know. So, all right. So I hope you guys learned some new words. It looks like we are out of time. We've actually gone over time. So I want to thank you for your participation. And so those of you guys who do not drive, you know some more vocabulary, and I hope you can use these words in your future. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Holly. Bye. Bye, everybody.
Bye.